What's up, y'all? It's your boy eBay Fight Predictions, and I've been waiting a long time to do this. I'll be breaking down Israel Adesanya, Titty Boy, versus Marvin Vettori for the UFC 263 main event for the middleweight title of the world, man. This is a great fight. I love this fight, particularly for Marvin. I really do think Marvin has a phenomenal chance in this fight and should be respected as a legit guy that can win this fight. But Marvin is ranked number 3, obviously. Titty Boy. I'm going to call him Titty Boy for the rest of this video, so don't get mad about it. Titty Boy is the middleweight champion of the world, so it is what it is. Yeah, man, but let's talk about these stats, man. For a guy like Titty right now, he's 21, really good record, fights out of Nigeria, age 31, height of 6'4", last weighed at 200.5 pounds, and has a reach of 80. So, Titty he has a lot of really good assets to his game in terms of the reach, the record, the championship experience, his age, right? He's in his prime. So good on him. Marvin Vettori, 17-3-1, is fighting out of Italy, age 27. So a young guy, just hungry, a lion, a young lion. So yeah, height of 6 foot and a reach of 74. So Titty Boy, he does have the reach advantage in this matchup. I do respect him there. I do see the advantage there. I mean, I love this fight. A lot of y'all are complaining about this fight, and I don't get it. I think Marvin is the only guy that can really challenge Titty Boy in the right areas. Robert Whittaker, yeah, he had a phenomenal performance. He deserve a title shot. I'm not saying, Karate Kid Robert doesn't deserve the fucking title shot, right? Yeah, he beat KG, he beat Jared Cannonier, and he beat Till. But here's how I look at it. The guy was dancing like a Cinderella in his hometown, and I don't really have a problem, with Marvin getting a title shot over him. And it is what it is. Like, I'm sorry. But I do promise y'all one thing. He will get the title. I think he will get the title shot no matter what. They can't make him fight a 4th time, They can't do that. So they have to put him in a title scenario. But it's just like I don't get the complaints about this fight. This is a great fight. Stylistically, everywhere it goes, like, Marvin has a legit chance. Robert, he has a chance, but I don't know if he has the fight IQ, the brain, to do what he has to do to win a rematch. So obviously I wanted to get that off my chest. I've seen a lot of people crying about that, and being little babies about the whole entire situation. But at the end of the day, this is a great main event for a great pay-per-view. So I can't wait for it. But, man, in terms of notable wins, man, we got to talk about Titty Boy's resume. I mean, I did a film study on this. I watched a lot of tape. I basically watched their last 5 fights. But really what we got to talk about is that this is a rematch. A lot of people don't realize this is a rematch. These guys did fight in 2018. I think they were the 3rd fight under on the UFC Glendale card. Justin Gaethje versus Dustin Poirier. Great fight, by the way. Actually, a really cool card. I think they had Michelle Waterson versus, is her name Courtney Casey? Is her name Courtney? It was like Michelle Waterson versus some other girl. I forgot the girl's name. It might have been Courtney Casey. But, man, I mean, this was Adesanya's 2nd fight in the UFC. Right, and they gave him, big promotion in this fight. They gave him his own, like I remember they did like a countdown, road to the octagon. They did this for a few shows. Like, they did this for Eddie Alvarez versus Dustin Poirier when they had that big rematch, and then I think Aldo versus Jeremy Stevens, and Tisha Torres versus Joanna and Jacek. Really big card for a fight night. I think they did it for Kevin Lee versus Ali Quinta too. You had Dan Hooker, Edson Barboza on that card. I think Sergio Pettis versus Rob Font. Really big card. So there was a lot of hype on Adesanya. He had just beat Rob Wilkinson, and they gave him everything. They gave him everything, and he fought Marvin Vettori at the time. Marvin, I think, was he was actually 12, right? It was he was 12-2-1. Yeah, so Marvin was also somewhat of a similar in terms of record, right? Obviously had more fights, but in terms of wins, And that first fight, it was very close. It was very close. Now, we're obviously going to, for this moment, we're going to talk about what Adesanya did well. Adesanya, he did a lot of things well in terms of range. And, I mean, Titty Boy, he looked good in here. In the first 2 rounds, he looked really, really good. The leg kicks was solid. The uppercut he landed. The elbow he landed. Like, Titty Boy, I give him his credit. This was a really, really good performance. Now, obviously, this was considered a split decision. Do I agree it was a split decision? No. Titty Boy won this fight. As much as it pains me to say that, and Marvin, he loves to say he won that first fight. I'm sorry, buddy. It was, in my humble, it was close. It's 28-29. I'm not saying it wasn't close, but you didn't win that fight. But yeah, Titty Boy did win this fight. Now, obviously, he went rush shot through the division. After that, he beat Brad Tavares in a crazy 5-rounder. Beats Derek Brunson, knocks him out quick, makes Derek look like a fool. But we all know that's old Derek Brunson. He didn't fight the blonde Brunson, so it don't really count. Blonde Brunson is an undefeated fighter. And then he fights Anderson Silva in a very, very weird suspect. I mean, the fight was complete. It was a sham. It was a joke. I know so many people were hyping that fight up. I was like, what is going on? I didn't think that fight was that good, if I'm being honest. But it is what it is at the end of the day. And then he fights my boy KG, and I was so confident. I'll never forget this night. I was so confident KG was going to beat him, and I got humbled. KG had a lot of success. I think I've talked about this fight numerous times. I've watched this fight too many times. That's why I kind of hope Adesanya goes, because I have damn near I'm hoping I don't have to watch this fight again. I've watched it way too many times, but it's a great fucking fight. Nothing against it, but I've watched it so many times for film studies because KG fought Robert. I watched it again for Jan Blachowicz. Watched it for the Costa fight. But it is a real fight, and the thing about it is it happened. A lot of people like to say, don't judge Adesanya based on this fight. How can I not judge him? It's a 20... Dude, it's like a 25-minute war he had, and I'm supposed to be like, oh, he had an off night? No, there were some things that... KG did things right in this fight, and he exposed some holes in this fight. Now, obviously, KG did a lot of great things, and here's the thing that makes it really interesting. KG's head coach, Rafael Cordero, is the same coach for Marvin Vettori. So, and this is, I will give Titty Boy one thing. He is 2-0 over King's MMA, He did beat both of them. Now, Marvin and KG, they gave him some of the toughest fights of his career. So, you gotta put some respect on Rafael Cordero's name. He's a good coach. But in this matchup, KG did a really good thing with the hop step and then attacking with the lead hook. He was able to really, rattle Titty Boy with that lead hook. He didn't know how to take it. He didn't know how to take it at all. And he fell. But Titty Boy ended up rebounding. He got a knockdown. It was a weird slip, in my humble opinion. I think KG was kind of off balance, and he slipped, and then he caught him. And I think he hurt him. I'm not saying he didn't hurt him, but KG, you could see his feet was off balance, and then just Adesanya almost made sure he got a knockdown. Then there was this awesome sequence with the spinning back elbow, and then KG goes for the takedown. Obviously, Adesanya shows good takedown defense there. In the third round, Titty Boy did get taken down by KG. KG was able to take him down in that round. I remember that a lot. That's something, that's going to be lingering. Grappling is going to be the biggest part of this fight. And then in the fourth round, KG, man, made me so proud. I've never been so proud of Mad at the same time. Throws the high kick, hurts Titty Boy, hurts him bad, y'all. And he, does the dumbest thing I've ever seen in my life. But it's okay. He's in a fight. It's 25 minutes. If there's ever a mistake I'm okay with, it's that one. And he went for a takedown, and KG disappointed me there. And then in the fifth round, Titty Boy, I give him one thing. People talk about moments where champions are made. People talk about when somebody kind of proves to themselves that they're supposed to be here. And he had that moment in that 5th round. It's almost like, if I'm can make a reference, it's almost like basketball. You know, what Michael Jordan did to the Utah Jazz in Game 6, you know, in the finals, right? Like, that's kind of what he did. Like, he was like, all right, I'm taking this over. Y'all not winning. Goodbye, right? And that's what Adesanya did. He went for it. He got, like, what, three knockdowns, right? And then just, he murdered my boy, you know? Titty boy was on fire. He was on fire that night. I don't know what kind of anime he was watching the day before, but he was motivated to win, you know? And, you know, I can't be mad at that. Then Titty boy, he fights Robert Whittaker. And this was the most, and again, I said it, and the fact the Reaper fans, man, like, it is what it is. I don't hate y'all, but I mean, there is some delusional people out there, you know. I mean, yeah, Rob does deserve his rematch, but to act like this first fight wasn't embarrassing, come on, y'all. The guy, like, I don't even like siding with that idiot Adesanya, but like, when what's his name, Eugene Behrman, I don't like their coach. But I will say one thing. When their coach said, hey, Robert was hitting air, he couldn't touch us, I watched that fight. Robert couldn't touch that boy. He had him hitting air, y'all. All right? How can we trust Robert to get the job done? This is not even like, I don't like Rob. Would I like Rob to see, you know, would I like Rob to beat Titty Boy? Yeah, I would love it. But I don't know if Rob can do it. I don't know if Rob has the IQ to go out there and take him down. Like, people don't understand this about Robert Whittaker. The guy is an Olympic level wrestler, and nobody really, kind of like, people don't really talk about that. They look at him kind of like a striker, but the guy qualified for his Australian Olympic wrestling team. He qualified. All right, do you know how hard it is to qualify? And obviously US and Australia is a lot different, but you know how hard it is to qualify in the United States? Do you know how many guys cry at the Olympic trials? People are crying that they can't make it. These are their dreams. He could do that. Now, obviously, they said he couldn't compete in the Olympics because he has UFC gold, right? But he is a great wrestler, and he decided to be karate. That's what I call him sometimes. It's his nickname. I call him Karate Kid Rob, right? Because he wants to be like the fight. You know, he does all that karate shit, right? Okay, go ahead, do that. Get knocked the F out. He hit air, got knocked out in the first round, and got knocked the fuck out in the second round, man. Like, it was embarrassing. I picked him. I was a fool. I should have known better. And, I mean, Rob, it is what it is, man. I don't know what to say about the guy, man. He's good. He's a good fighter. He's a great fighter, actually. Let me say that. But I don't trust him. That's still in my mind, what Adesanya did to him. You know, Titty Boy went in his hometown and had him dancing like a Cinderella. Now, I know he has his excuses. Yeah, he was rusty. Yeah, he had a lot of time off, right, in between that fight. So, is there room for improvement? Of course. But, you ain't getting me to believe in you. You got me that first time, but you ain't getting me again. And then Titty Boy fought his superior, his pops, Yoel Romero. I don't know what to say. This should not be considered a win for Adesanya. Romero had his way with him, y'all. Stop it, man. Stop it with the nonsense, y'all. I see so many people, like, they attack Romero and this and that. It is what it is. At the end of the day, Romero, he won 3 rounds. I've watched this fight too many times. And I'm like, how do people think this goddamn... Man, it is what it is. Like, Yoel, he did great in the first round. He did great in the second round. There wasn't a lot of action, but the things that Yoel did were more superior in those rounds than what Izzy did. So I gave those first 2 rounds to Yoel. 3rd and 4th, yeah, Adesanya was tapping his leg. I give him those rounds. You know, he did a lot of great stuff with the leg kicks. He did a lot of stuff with the body kicks, right? Like he landed some really, really good stuff. Now obviously it's been medically reported that even the body kick he landed, that was I'll give him credit. He landed one cool body kick in that fight, right? But even that, he broke his fucking foot. If you remember, he fought I think he fought, what's his face? Romero, was it March, right? And then he fought Costa in September. So it's like he was not medically cleared to fight Costa. And people wondering what's the holdup with Costa and Adesanya? Why aren't they not fighting? And it's because of that. Because, he fought the soldier of God. Luke Rockhold has said it. It's like kicking steel, but and then Yoel Romero did land a takedown on Adesanya, but it is what it is. Adesanya got right back up, and then the 5th round, I mean, he fucking sunned him. Adesanya, Titty Boy looked scared, y'all. He looked scared in there. Okay, stop it. All right, I don't like y'all. You know what? You can say whatever you want to. Adesanya is the GOAT, this and that, but do not disrespect Yoel Romero. I don't like how y'all be disrespecting Yoel. Like he ain't son some of y'all favorite fighters. Like he ain't give them that work. All right, like he ain't done Robert Whittaker dirty in the rematch in Chicago. People, man, in Chicago, y'all. All right, like he ain't had him fucking face down, ass up. I need to put some respect on that old man. Now I don't like how y'all been like y'all been playing with his name a little too much. Like man, it is what it is. But like I ain't tripping. I ain't tripping, but it is what it is. At the end of the day, but and then Adesanya, he fights Paulo Costa. Now this, oh man, this was my undoing, y'all. This is when Titty Boy not only defeated a lot of haters, he defeated me. I'm not going to take away from this performance just because he had a titty that day. I don't know why he had the titty, but he had one, though. All right? I'm not saying he's taking steroids, y'all. I'm not saying that. But he had one, though. Don't be mad at me. He had one, though. All right? He's a skinny guy. If he was fat, okay. You can't, I'm sorry. But, yeah, the leg kicks in that fight was, I mean, he schooled my boy Costa. He made Costa look like a dummy. All right, I'm not gonna lie. He kept touching him. He was touching him up everywhere. Costa just looked lost. He looked like he was in La La Land. I think the game plan was to take those first 2 rounds off and then go crazy in the next 3, and I would have liked it, but I mean, the problem was Costa he just kept going forward. So he was just taking damage, and yeah, man, and he ended up getting caught with the left hook, and then got ended with that ground and pound, and proceeded to get humped by Titty Boy, because Titty Boy, I guess, likes Costa. I don't know, or likes I don't know. I think he has a girlfriend. I'm positive he has a girlfriend, but like. I don't know what to say, y'all. At the end of the day, Adesanya, he did his thing here. He proved that, all right, I am the champ. This was a performance where you kind of show people I am the champ. I am the champ for a reason. And but I didn't stop doubting. I didn't stop doubting him. I noticed a lot of people were like, oh, we got to give him his credit. No, I mean, yeah, you got to give him his credit, but like, he's not the GOAT. He's not a god among men. He can't just go up to fucking weight classes and weight divisions and just fucking ruin everybody's career, right? He can't do that, all right? F you and F what you believe in, all right? That's how I feel. And when he fought his pops, Jan Blachowicz, like, it was beautiful. There's nothing really much to say about this performance. Jan just went out there and did his thing. He did his job. What's this dumb bitch name? Let me find this actually motherfucker's name that said this nonsense. I mean, I'm gonna find it. I'm actually Aaron Bronstetter or whatever his fucking name is. He is a media member, I think, of this MMA world, right? He had, okay, I will admit, before I talk about Aaron, let me just talk about the fight, right? I mean, the first 2 rounds it was even when I first watched it, I actually gave the second round to Adesanya. But when I rewatched it again without commentary, and I don't want to shit on DC. DC's a Cali boy, fights out of San Jose, aka the greatest gym of all time. So I will give DC a pass. And even DC said maybe Jan won the second round, right? No. Actually, that's not true. I gave the first round to Izzy the first time I watched it, and I think the third round to Izzy, right? And I watched it again. I thought Jan won that first round, and then in that second round, they were trying to say like Izzy won the second round too, and then the third round, you know what I'm saying? Like Jan did things in that what's it called in that second round where he just messed with Izzy. You know, the body kicks, the double unders. Like, he was imposing as well. He was going forward. He was doing a lot of things. And he was fucking with Izzy. He's fucking with Izzy heavy, right? And then in that third round, we'll give Titty Boy some credit. He stung Jan with a decent hook. I gave him that round because of the impact. But that's it. And in the fourth and fifth, in the fourth round especially, Jan was able to get on top. He got really, really good top control, and it was a great round for him. And this is where I talk about this Aaron Bronstetter. He tweets this out. I saw it on the video. I was rewatching the fight. I saw it on there. Bronstetter, he had it 39-37 for Jan. No, not for Jan, for Adesanya, for Titty Boy. Like, come on now. What are we doing here? Like, oh my God. It's like, I'm scared for Marvin. I'm scared they might give this, like, let's say it goes to decision, they might give it to Titty Boy. Because I don't know what's going on here. Apparently the kid's a draw. He's a popular guy. I don't think he's that big of a superstar, in my humble opinion. Yeah, he did good numbers with Paulo Costa. And Jan Blachowicz was 600, 700 in his last. Those are nothing to scoff at, right? I'm not saying those are bad numbers. But, like, hey, that last card was stacked. Jan, Aljo, Amanda Nunes, Megan Anderson, fucking Alexander Rakic, Thiago Santos. Like, come on now. Islam Makhachev, Drew Dober. Like, Dominic Cruz. Like, come on now. So, you know, it is what it is. You know, so I'm scared they might give it to Titty Boy, right? And then in the fifth round, gets another takedown. And then this is where we saw Adesanya's guard game get exposed. And Jan Blachowicz is a really good black belt. I really think he's a great black belt. You know, submitted Nikita Krylov. But I think Marvin's grappling at middleweight. I'm just saying at middleweight, 185, a guy that rolls with Fabricio Verdun probably every fucking day. I think he would be more lethal on the ground. And I think Marvin actually has more submissions than Jan Blachowicz. I might be wrong, but I think he does. And then the ground and pound, Jan landed at the end of that round. Fucking sunned him, said go home, go back to middleweight, you punk motherfucker. Alright, get the fuck out of here. Alright, dummy. Thought you was going, man, that shit was beautiful. And this is where we're at. You know, Titty Boy is in a situation right now after losing to Jan Blachowicz. And obviously he was, I don't know why, but he seemed happy about losing to Jan. I don't know, that's y'all boy. I don't know what his issue is. But he was looking for fights against Darren Till, looking for fights. He was just really looking at Darren Till, maybe Kevin Holland, and then, you know, the one guy that he fought in Glendale, you know, in 2018, a while back. His name is Marvin Vettori, the Italian Dream. He dismissed, for a long, long time. And let's really talk about that. Now we're gonna really talk about Marvin Vettori's notable wins, but you know, even in the lead up to this fight getting booked, Adesanya just kept dismissing this man. There's articles saying that Adesanya comparing Marvin to his teammate Kelvin Gastelum, saying, "Oh, you know, Kelvin doesn't talk, you know, about the rematch. You know, he knows he'll be there. That's a guy that I'll never fight Marvin Vettori." Let that sink in, y'all. I will never fight Marvin Vettori. And Marvin, he posts these kind of memes on his on his Instagram talking about when Adesanya comes back to middleweight and what he's done to the middleweight division and how he's rampaged it. Now, yeah, did he rampage the middleweight division? No, I'm not saying he did, right? I'm not saying he did. I'm not going to say that. But what I do think he did was he put himself in that top 5. He proved to a lot of people wrong. He took fights on short notice, and he showed the world he ain't no punk. He ain't going nowhere. And that Glendale UFC fight night was not a fluke. It was not the judges being on crack or whatever Adesanya said. It was a close fight because Marvin Vettori is your equal, titty boy, and that is a fact. And in that fight, Marvin was getting lit up. I will admit, Marvin was getting lit up. But what I liked about Marvin, what he showed, was not only his... I mean, the kid is a lion. He embodies what a lion is. I truly believe it. He's a good kid, and I've been a really big fan of him ever since the Amore Makadev. That's the first time I saw when he fought Amore Makadev, right? He went to that draw. He fights his ass off. Yeah, does he gas? He did gas early in his career, but man, he fucking fights his ass off. And in that third round against Adesanya, he was like, all right, the striking isn't going my way. Now, he was throwing a lot of low leg kicks. You know, I was surprised how he was. It wasn't like he was losing the striking. It wasn't like he was like getting destroyed. He was there, but he knew it wasn't going his favor, and he went for the takedowns, and he went for it. And here's one thing I will say about Adesanya. Adesanya has good wrestling, but doesn't have an overall good grappling game. Right? And what do you mean, eBay? Like, what do you mean by that? He has good wrestling, right? I mean, I think if you look at the coaches, right, at Tiger Muay Thai, right, they do some work at City Kickboxing in Australia, right? And the Australian wrestling coach at Tiger Muay Thai is a great, great wrestling coach. He's a great wrestling coach. I mean, phenomenal wrestler, right? So he gives a lot of the help to, City Kickboxing. The reason why Dan Hooker has really good grappling. Volkanovski has really, really good grappling. Why those guys is because of that coach. I forgot his name. I might show a picture of him. And Adesanya has shown great takedown defense. I'll give him that. He's shown really, really good takedown defense. But I mean, people overrate his guard game. He's a purple belt in jiu-jitsu. No shame in that. But I mean, they really overrate his guard game. I think it's extremely, extremely overrated. But I mean, Marvin kind of exposed it. Marvin had a lot of control time in the third round and was able to take him down two times. And then Adesanya, I don't know what he thought he was. I don't know what he was trying to do. He goes for a throw and gets hit on his back, like gets sat down. So Marvin was able to really control in the grappling. He was really able to control in that first fight in the rematch. But he ended up taking the loss, and that's a fact. But instead of letting that loss be his only claim to fame, right? For a long time, that one fight was his only claim to fame. He instead let that fuel him. He said, "I'm going to destroy you guys." And then he fights Cesar Ferreira. I mean, here's one thing that concerned me in the Ferreira fight. I didn't like how many low leg kicks Ferreira was landing on him. There was a lot. He landed like a lot in the first round, and it was somewhat concerning. It was a lot. I didn't like that. But Cesar Ferreira is a decent striker. I think he has a good grappling game. And he kind of, Marvin was able. He used the boxing. He used the pressure. He was able to pressure him a lot, so the kicks couldn't be so much of a factor. And he took him down a whole bunch of times. He ended up taking down, a lot. He took him down a lot, and even mounted Cesar Ferreira, right? So. I mean, he had a lot of success in that fight, and he did his thing in there. Then fights Andrew Sanchez. I mean, Andrew is a good grappler. So obviously Marvin has done this throughout his career. He becomes the anti-grappler. He plays that sprawl and brawl game, almost like sprawl and box him up game. And that's what he did. He boxed Andrew Sanchez up, man. He lit him up on the feet. He made him a fucking punching bag. I mean, Andrew had literally no success in this fight. He got lit up. I mean, the combination, the one, and then and then he would double up. He would throw the jab and then double up with the lead hook, then throw the right and then throw a lead knee through the guard. I mean, the guy looked amazing in there. and he did his thing and just destroyed Andrew Sanchez. Then fights Carl Roberson. I mean, a lot of heat. 2 canceled bouts. Carl misses weight the first time, they can't fight. Then misses weight the second time. It's just fucking, at that point, it's just obvious Carl is not professional, right? So Marvin goes out there. Top 10 top 10 glory kickboxer, right? Same division at the time as Titty Boy, right? So you got to give Carl his respect there in the striking. Now, as an MMA fighter, he hasn't proven it. Obviously, it is what it is. But in this fight, Marvin just ran him over. He ran him the fuck over. Carl, I don't know what Carl was trying to do in here. I don't know if he thought he was fucking Spider-Man or something. But, he was jumping the cage. He was jumping out of those guillotines. I give him his credit there. But, the takedowns, the suffocation, Marvin was just, I'm going to destroy you. I am going to destroy you. And he was just on him. And then the ground and pound, it was vicious. And then the rear naked choke to end it. And just, he finished him. He took him out of his misery. It was a phenomenal performance, right? And then, right, so Marvin's ranked number 15, 14 in that kind of area. And then he gets scheduled to fight Jack Hermanson, which, probably the best thing that ever happened in his life. Hermanson was coming off a crazy win over Kelvin Gastelum. He was in the top 5. He was in talks for almost like if he wins against, who was he? He was scheduled against Darren Till. If he beats Darren Till, he'll get like a number 1 contender bout against somebody, right? And then, number 5, I think, in the world. And he took everything from Jack. I knew he was going to do this. A lot of people picked Jack Hermanson for some odd reason. Probably they thought, Jack has experience in the championship rounds. But I saw his Jacare Souza fight. I saw holes in there. I saw that he was losing in the striking to Jacare. So I knew if Marvin, if he stayed super technical and had really good takedown defense, he could box him up, beat him, and just treat him like a punching bag. And that's what he did. He knocked him down in the first round. Just, oh my God, he lit him up, man. His boxing looks so good. And it's probably because it's Jack Hermanson. And then, dude, the takedown defense he showed, it was amazing. And Hermanson is a great, great grappler. He's a great grappler in MMA. And he went for a single leg, and he tried so hard for that single leg, y'all. He tried so interruption. My computer be tripping sometimes. But yeah, like I said, Hermanson was going so hard for that single leg against Marvin Vettori, and he just couldn't fucking get it, y'all. He couldn't fucking get it at all. And it is what it is at the end of the day. He couldn't get it. But yeah, and that basically was the story of the fight. Hermanson kind of gave up in the wrestling and tried to outstrike him. He won 1 round, and then Marvin just proceeded to lit him up and had his way with him. So it is what it is. And then here's the nonsense. So Marvin Vettori gets scheduled to fight Darren Till. Darren Till gets injured. I'm just going to leave it at that. I think it is a real injury. I'm not saying he faked it, but yeah, it is what it is. At the end of the day, Kevin Holland came in there short notice. It wasn't the opponent Marvin needed for a title shot, and that's what pissed me off. It made me sad because Marvin didn't get his credit because it's opponent that lost to Derek Brunson previously, and he didn't get his credit. But Marvin went out there and just ran him over too. I think people gave the first round to Holland, and I'm like, what kind of, whatever. Y'all can smoke crack over there with fucking Tony Ferguson if you think that. But I thought Marvin won. I thought it was 5-0. The questions about, here's what I don't like about how this fight is perceived, and obviously I think people just don't watch fights. I think they just watch highlights. People are saying that Marvin got lit up. What about Kevin Holland? And I like Holland. I'm not trying to disrespect Holland here. But Holland got hit too. He got lit up too. There was a lot of times Holland got hurt. Marvin showed his boxing in this fight a lot. And he was dealing with someone with even a longer reach than, what's his name? Titty Boy. Adesanya. I think Marvin, yeah, it's 81. So 81-80, like he did pretty good against someone with a really, really long reach. Now, obviously, Kevin Holland isn't the striker of of Titty Boy. I'll give Titty Boy that credit. He is a great kickboxer. I won't take that away from him. But I mean, come on, y'all tripping here. And then he landed the 1-2. I mean, the 1-2 or the 1-2 pullback counter that he has. It's the one he has in the bank. But yeah, he was able to take him down I mean, dude, it was crazy. Like, he took him down so many times, y'all. Like 11. Like, it was crazy. Just controlling him. He had an arm triangle at one point, which was wild, and Kevin Holland got out of there. He got out of there twice against him and Derek Brunson. I mean, both guys put an arm triangle on him. But yeah, just a lot of pressure. And yeah, Marvin ended up getting the W, and it is what it is. I think even Marvin mounted Holland too, which is another thing. But here's the thing with Kevin Holland and Adesanya is Kevin Holland's a better grappler. He's not a better wrestler. He has real legitimate jiu-jitsu experience. He's competed in multiple no-gi tournaments. He's actually good. At grappling. He's a black belt, I think. I think he just needs to learn how to wrestle. That's his only problem. He's too comfortable on bottom. But this fight, I mean, I've talked about it enough. Marvin's gonna go out there and come for this motherfucker's head. All right, he's motivated. You doubted him the first time. All right, he said he was never gonna be here. He made it. Now it's coming down. He might come here and take your fucking belt. Right. Now, one way I can see Adesanya winning this fight, obviously, is there were moments where Holland. I'll put probably this in the right here. There were moments where Holland did have success against Vettori in the 5th round. I don't know if now Marvin denies he got hurt, but sometimes a fighter doesn't know, right? So I'll assume he got kind of stung a little bit. He got hit with a really good 2. Holland has long arms, y'all. He has really long arms. But Marvin, here's the thing that goes against him. Marvin went for the takedown immediately. And that's what's going to make this fight interesting. But also, it also goes to my way. If Marvin panic shoots against Adesanya and he tries to kind of chain wrestle, he could tire himself out and Adesanya could get a later finish. Adesanya, he in the first fight, he was able to attack that lead leg a lot. And that's something I don't like. If I'm being honest, it's something I don't like for Vettori. That's why Vettori needs to put the pressure on him and just hurt him. But I could see Titty Boy, using his leg kicks, using his body kicks, using his reach, and just kind of doing what he did in the first fight. Maybe winning the first 3 rounds, and then maybe winning a decision, or getting Marvin tired through takedown defense and stuff like that. That's one way I can see him winning. But the way I see Marvin winning this fight, the wrestling. You watch that first fight, it was looking like how the Jan Blachowicz fight was gonna pan out. Marvin was taking him down in the 3rd round, right? Jan Blachowicz took your boy Adesanya down in the 3rd round. Now, it was a quick moment against the cage, but it is what it is. Now, the main thing Marvin needs to work on, and he does have good takedowns, is do not take him down against the cage. I will give one thing to Titty Boy. He has really good takedown defense against the cage, but in the center of the octagon, it's non-existent. He has good I shouldn't say he doesn't have good takedowns, but his ability to get back up in the center is non-existent, and he can't do it. He'll just rest there. And I think if Vettori can put the pressure on him, he can do all that stuff. And if he can just get on top of him, get him tired. And if Vettori, don't be scared to strike with him. Don't be scared of him. Vettori said it multiple. He's not as good as everyone thinks he is. He's not a god among men. I'm sorry. He is a human being. All right. I don't know. I know you guys watch a lot of anime. There's nothing wrong with it. I've watched it too. I'm not saying there's anything wrong with it, but I mean, to overrate some of these fighters as if they're gonna fucking, I don't know, hit somebody with a Kamehameha or a fucking Rasengan or whatever it is, it's ridiculous, right? He's a normal human being. He can be beat, all right? And I think Vettori, if he puts the pressure on him and if he can get him down and if he get him tired, he can get a submission. I got Vettori winning this by 4th round fucking submission, and he's fucking ending this dumb titty boy era. And when it's all over, I can pretend like this motherfucker never existed. Yeah, and hey, if you're new to this channel, I am known as the biggest titty boy, Adesanya, titty Sanya, skinny boy, whatever you want to call the guy. I'm the biggest hater of this guy. You can say whatever you want. I'm just not the biggest fan of him. I don't hate him. It's hard to say I hate somebody. I never met him. I'm just not a fan of him. But no, I'm taking Vettori in this. That's what I'm doing. Like I've seen the tape. I've seen this guy fight. He is a good kickboxer, but you know, he's been beaten in a 5-round kickboxing fight. You know, I've seen that fight. We can talk about even that, honestly. I got to find the guy's name. I forgot his name. I'm going to go through his record. But yeah, I watched that. I think it's Jason Wilson. Jason, use pressure. Leg kicks, lead leg kicks, pressure. All the hooks, everything. That's what Vettori's going to do, and he's going to have to mix in the takedowns. When the nonsense I hear from people when I put this when I used to put that theory out, if someone can just use the right enough pressure and takedowns, they can beat Adesanya. And I remember I said that before the Jan Blachowicz fight. And when Adesanya just beat Paulo Costa, all you mofos were just sucking his cock and acting like I'm crazy and said that's a dumb theory. That will never happen. Adesanya's too good. He's a step ahead. What do you mean he's a step ahead? I hate when I see that. He's a step ahead. Who is he? Huh? Is he just smarter than everybody? What? Oh, he's such a genius. My God, the way you talk about I swear, the way these people talk about this man, it just. But it is what it is. I'm taking Vettori by 4th round submission. I think Vettori gets him tired. I think Vettori, he does strike with him a little bit. I'm not going to say he's going to have a lot of success, but I think he will have some success in the striking. And I think he'll plan out the takedowns. He will give Adesanya his best. Rafael Cordero, King's MMA, is not losing a 3rd time to this motherfucker. I promise you that. And I got Marvin Vettori by 4th round submission. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. It's your boy eBay Fight Predictions in the building. If you made it this far in the video, I know it's going to be pretty fucking long. Go follow me on my Instagram. Go follow me on my Twitter. If you're new, subscribe, like, comment, share the video. Go click the notification button. And let me message to some of if you're a fan of Titty Boy, if you're a Titty Boy fan, right? If you're a Titty Sanya fan, if you're an Israel Adesanya fan, I'll say his actual name this time, right? Do not take this to heart. I am joking. I have a lot of friends that like Titty Boy. I do. So, we joke around. They talk shit about Marvin Vettori. They talk shit about Yoel Romero. So it's okay. There's nothing wrong. We're just I've seen some people complain about the way I talk about some of these fighters. I'm just joking around at the end of the day. It's not, don't take it to heart. It's just me just talking like how I normally talk. It's just me being me at the end of the day, and it is what it is. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. Just wanted to say that, but love y'all and goodbye.
Israel, he can be dangerous if you let him do what he want to do. If you pressure him, if you don't let him stay on his comfort zone, he's not that good. I don't think so. He doesn't like to get hit. He can't fight going backwards. He moves a lot, but honestly, it's nothing that I haven't seen before. This guy can't handle a big punch. Oh, night, my friend. If things go his way, then he's all right. He can put on his rhythm. If they don't, then he kind of like give up. And that's what you will see on April 14th, because I am going to push him backwards. And I will have a relentless pressure on him.